Morning guys, I'm Captain Lee, and this is the Rod Shop. Stick around. So yeah, this is something new and different. Don't worry, I'm going to keep doing the same kind of videos that I've been doing that you guys seem to like. The only problem with those videos is it takes me a week to 10 days to get them out so you can see them. So the information you're getting is 2 weeks old. And with the spawn coming, I thought we'd try something new, and you can tell me down in the comments below if you like this or not. This may be the first episode and the last episode, but I thought I would tell you what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 weeks, how I'm going to approach the lake, to give you guys a better idea of how maybe you could do something different this weekend or next weekend as we're running into the full moon. So here's where we're at. It's the first week of January, Thursday the 6th. You know, we just had a new moon. Full moon is coming, and how are you going to attack a spawning flat? That's what we're going to talk about, so stick around. Now, I was on the water 4 days last week, and what I found was these fish were kind of in that I'm ready to spawn, but not really ready. They probably were starting to spawn on December's full moon, but we had that cold front come through, and that might have knocked them off. Because as we were looking around, we did find some beds very, very shallow, in 2 to 3 feet, in hard sandy bottoms and relatively clean water, but we didn't find any fish there. Now on Kissimmee, and on most natural lakes in Florida, what I would define a spawning flat is this way. So you're out on the lake, you're looking at your vegetation, and so you have this hard, thick area of Kissimmee grass. It's the first vegetation you reach as you're coming in from mid-lake, and you're probably in the 6 to 8 foot range in water depth on the outside edge of it. And then behind that, typically you're going to have some sparser stuff where you've got some small clumps of Kissimmee grass mixed in with some scattered pads, or maybe even some bigger areas of pads, headed up towards buggy whips or arrowheads or cattails or something along those lines. And then just inside of that, you're going to have the shallows, what I call is 1 to 3 feet. Now, bass will spawn in a foot of water. I have seen them with their dorsal fin out of the water. So what we found last week was these fish were mid spawning flat. We found a couple fish on the outside. They were pre-spawn for sure. They were still full of eggs. But the majority of our fish we found in about 3 to 5 feet of water. It was in mixed pads and grass. I'll throw some pictures up of some of the fish we caught. I filmed a few of the days. It's going to be, you know, the weekend or later before I get that out, but I'll show you some pictures of what it looks like so you know what you're looking for. So that's how I define a spawning flat. Now, how do you attack a spawning flat? Well, the way I do it is I start on the outside line, and I've got a search bait, and we'll talk about baits in a second, and then I work in doing a zigzag pattern. So for example, I'll start on the outside, I'll come in through the heavier thick grass, working the search bait, run all the way as shallow as I can get with the trolling motor, and just looking for any kind of signs of activity. Either spooking a fish, getting a bite, seeing some bait fish, seeing some pads jump around, or any kind of activity like that. Now that's how you break down or attack it. You're doing a zigzag in, all the way back out. You move down, you do the same thing, and you just watch where you've been on your graph, and you just try to cover as much of that flat as you can until you get a bite. All right, so what baits are you using? That may be the most important thing. We've got great weather coming these next 10 days. It's going to be cool in the mornings. It's going to be very warm in the afternoons. I think the bite's going to be better from, say, lunchtime to dark. And typically in warmer waters on the western side of your lake, or you're going to want to look like, for example, in Kissimmee, you've got Brahma, you got Bird, you got Rabbit Islands. You want to look on the east side of those islands because that water has had more sun exposure during the day. the nighttime temps are going to be in the 50s. So it's going to drop your water temps down probably into the high 60s by morning. So as the day moves on, you've got this bright sun, the western side of water is going to have more sun throughout the day. So look for your warmest water. You're looking for somewhere between 65 and 72. The warmer the better. So what baits are you going to use? Well, I went to the boat and I pulled the 4 baits that I have been using for the last 5 trips, including the ones that I'm going to use this afternoon. And to start with, I'm going to use a topwater bait. So it's going to be a buzz frog is my favorite because you can throw this anywhere. I throw it weightless on a 5/0 EWG hook and braid. And you can work outside the pads, you can work in the thick pads, just dragging it through. You can pitch it into a hole in the pads and just let it flutter down. This is my primary search bait, the buzz frog, bait number 1. Now bait number 2 is a jackhammer, and I've got a wobbler as a trailer, and I'm gonna throw this anywhere I think I can get it to come through the vegetation, around the pads. If I have an isolated pad, if I have an isolated clump of Kissimmee grass, I'm throwing this, I'm swimming it pretty quick. We're only in about 4 feet of water, so you want to swim it mid-column, about 2 feet off the bottom, and get these fish to trigger. Bait number 3, maybe my favorite bait of all time, but it's a vibe. And how I throw this is on a 4/0 EWG hook with a pegged like 1/8 to maybe 3/16 ounce weight, because I want to swim this pretty fast. Now it's not as noisy as the buzz frog. It's not as noisy as the chatterbait. And if these fish are just a little spookier, they may not be in the mood to eat, this little thump from the tail is going to make a difference. Now, if it's windy, I may go to a bigger vibe, you know, the mega vibe or the thumper or one of those other baits, just to make a little bit more noise to overcome the background noise from the wind and the waves. Primarily during the spawn, I'm throwing the vibe. That's bait number 3. Now bait number 4 is probably the most versatile bait. It's going to be a pitching bait. Now this is just a little crawl. I throw it on a 1/2 ounce pegged, and I have it rigged the way I showed Nathan how to rig it the other day when we were in Cyprus. So I've got a small bobber stop on top of the knot to protect the weight from slamming in the knot and wearing your knot. And then I got a bigger bobber stop that'll hold that weight more, so you can really get penetration into a thicker mat. Now I'm going to pitch this everywhere. If I see any movement of any kind, like a pad jump or some Kissimmee grass move in a little patch and there's nothing else around it moving, it's not wind, it's not a bird, I'm going to pitch this, and it's going to dive to the bottom pretty quick with these little flappers, and you're looking for a reaction strike. Most of the time they're going to catch it on the way down. You reel down, you pick up on it. If it doesn't feel right, set the hook. So that's bait number 4. So you got 3 baits. You got your buzz frog or some other kind of topwater that you like throwing. You've got the chatterbait for covering a lot of water quickly, noisy, try to get a very aggressive fish to strike. You got a vibe that is a very versatile bait. 50% of the time I'm on the boat, I've got a vibe in my hand under most situations, because you can pitch it, you can swim it, you can buzz it, you can drag it across the bottom slowly, but with that little flapping tail, it gets attention. And then bait number 4 is your pitching bait. So there are your baits. So there you have it, guys. Next 10 days, we're gonna have great weather. I've shown you what a spawning flat looks like. I've shown you the baits you use. Now just go get them. So real quick though, last week I did the video at Tenor Rock where I'm giving the rod away. Now I've got about 10 people that have done all 4 things that are required to get in the drawing for the rod, and I don't want you guys to miss out. So if you've done one of the 4 but you haven't done all 4, you haven't joined us over on ultimatebass.com, make sure you do that, because this is the rod I'm going to build for you guys here. Super light, all carbon fiber components. You're gonna love it. So this was the first episode of the Rod Shop. If you guys like this format, if you got something out of it, give me a comment down below and tell me, yes, you really like this, or no, this was crap, it wasted my time. Put it in the comments. You know, I'm doing this for you guys, and if you aren't getting anything out of it, I'm not gonna keep doing it. So put a comment below. And lastly, good luck to you guys this weekend. Go catch some fish. And if you're watching this channel for the first time and you don't know what I'm talking about with a rod giveaway, check out this video here. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.